Hey, sorry guys, I'm not sure what happened to my phone, but let me just go back. Um, so, if you wanted to know that something was going to happen 2 days prior, whether it's an earthquake, a flood, a twist, or a hurricane, Mount Rainier blowing up, Yellowstone blowing up, would you want to know? It was about a year ago that leaders out there, Magnum in Florida, Matt Pearson in Virginia, Old Ghost, North Carolina, Coop, Craftsman in New Hampshire, just a bunch of us created and implemented this thing called the Tavern. And it was basically a way for us to disseminate information and a way to get it prepared because everybody wanted to know what was going on. Anthony in New York, Anthony in Michigan, Spitfire in California, Chris in Alaska, just a bunch of leaders out there wanted to keep getting this information to their groups and their people. People Health Freedom Idaho, Health Freedom Washington, different Proud Boy chapters, um, Team Jeffrey Prowler's Team America, whatever group out there, prepper groups. And this is the thing, we all need to get ready for what's coming. I don't know what the scale is going to be. I don't know if it's going to be a grade down in New York, LA, Seattle, Austin, Texas, grade down. It could be multiple things happening at once, or it could be one, two, three, four uh, events happening. But whatever's going to happen, one thing I can guarantee, comms are going to come into play. And for a year now, we've had a national net made up of all these leaders and all these groups. Matter of fact, we just had it tonight at 7 p.m. like we do every night. And I think that it'd be a good idea for people that are not on the net to get on the net. Because if there's a grid down, and we saw what happened in Spain and Portugal when their grid went down, sheer pandemonium. What were the first things we saw? Grocery stores pillaged, pharmacies pillaged. So listen, we all need to keep in touch. We all need to know what's going on in each other's state. Craftsman knows that if something happens in Washington, he can reach me through radio. And this is why we do the net on Friday nights. We do HF, 20 meter, 40 meter, 80 meter. Then we go down to local groups, do our GMRS, then we do DMR, and we even do JS8, and Craftsman and Ron are in charge of the JS8 portion of that. And we're going to start implementing that on our Friday net. But we all need to keep in touch because if something happens in my state and you're in Idaho, you're in the Panhandle, you're going to want to know what's going on over here. I'm in Eastern Washington. I'm going to want to know from my guys on the west side in the Seattle area what's going on over there. And the way to do it is if there's no cell phones and you don't have a satellite phone, some of us do, some of us don't. And if you don't have a satellite phone, the next best thing is by radio, by DMR or HF or JS8 or whatever, by radio. My guys know that if something happens, they're on their way over here, but they need to our spot, but they need to let me know they're on their way so we know when to expect them. I know Lance and the guys will be here in 5 hours because that's how long it takes. But if you're in California and something happens there and you're going out to Arizona or Nevada because you want to get out of California, you need to let whoever you're meeting up with, you're on your way. If you're in New York and you're New York City and you're going upstate or going up to Vermont or whatever, you need to make contact. So comms is a very important thing. People take it for granted. And I don't know what it is. Generally, when a Republican gets in office, people get lazy. Patriots get lazy. People get lazy. They think, oh, this guy will fix everything. Trump's my hero. He's going to save me. No, he's not. He's not going to save you. And guess what? There's not enough police to patrol a whole city. There's not enough National Guard to patrol a whole state. It's self-rescue, man. We're on our own. It's only us. And, if you're not in a group and you're, by yourself and you want to get with a group, there's tons of groups on Tavern that you can reach out to. There's tons of groups out there. You're stronger in numbers because I don't care if you're in ex-member of SEAL Team 6. I don't care if you're a Ranger for 30 years. You're not going to survive by yourself. You are stronger in numbers. So, to you leaders out there, you need to get your people on this national net on Friday nights. And then you need to get into the intel chat and see what's going on. The more we stay connected, the more we stay in touch, we'll know. Like I said, we got Proud Boys on there. We got prepper groups. We got militias, Health Freedom Group. We got all kinds of people on there, sharing information, sharing resources, all kinds of stuff. And it just, it blows my mind right now why so many people think that Trump's going to save everybody. He's not. He's just stopping the bleeding. And guess what? I'm MAGA. I love Trump. I voted for Trump. But he's just stopping the bleeding. He's not going to stop what's to come, Again, on what scale is it going to come? What's it going to look like? I don't know for a fact, but I can guarantee you it's going to start with Volt Typhoon and Salt Typhoon hacking. There's going to be comms down. Then grid down in some places. Can they take down a whole state? Maybe Vermont. I think that they'll do a grid down near these bases. I could be wrong. Maybe they could take down a whole state. And then I think you'll start seeing these Chinese guys that are here, that came in through the border illegally, then they're up. It's batter up. They're activated. So are you willing to sacrifice the safety of your family? That's my question for you. Are you willing to sacrifice the safety of your wife or your husband and your kids? The comms is an easy thing, man. It's 10 to 30 minutes. If you're watching the NBA finals right now, or you're watching the hockey finals right now, you watch 30 minutes worth of commercials between the whole games. Stop making excuses. Stop being lazy. And get out and train. If you're not out there teaching your wife and your daughter how to shoot, if you're not out there teaching your son how to shoot, what happens if something happens to you? Have you set up your wife or your husband? Have you set them up for success so they can defend themselves? Come on, guys. Anyways, I'll be doing more updates as everybody asks. I will be doing another podcast with Spitfire and those guys again, coming up in about a month. But you guys need to keep your eye on everything that's happening, especially these test runs on the Iberian Peninsula, Spain and Portugal. Now there was a calms down. We're looking at these solar panels. Things are heating up. And the tariffs, it's a double-edged sword. It could force Xi Jinping to move now or not. And here's the thing. Remember I told you to remember the 2 times. Listen to this very carefully. Remember in the beginning of this video, I told you to remember the times that they can invade in the fall, in October, or spring. If you wanted to wipe out